Hello, everyone. Today I'm in St. John and my hometown, and I'm going to do a little aerial tour of the area. A good portion of my friends are from this area, so I thought I'd show everybody what it looks like from the air in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. And I'm currently in the TBM 850 aircraft, a little single-engine turboprop plane. This aircraft is fairly new to me. I don't have a lot of time in it, so I'm still learning it. But I thought it'd be fun to just take this out and do a little aerial tour. All right, I've taken off live weather or real world weather because the actual weather here in St. John was fairly cloudy, and I didn't think that would make for a really good aerial tour. So I've disabled that, and I just have nice clear skies, so I'll have good visibility. All right, I'm going to taxi out to the departure end of the runway. So I'm going to depart on runway 32 and head, I'll figure out where I'm going to go once I get airborne. Maybe I'll head to the Kennebecasis Valley area first before I head towards the city. That would be where the Atlantic Flight Center is. This is not accurately modeled. Most of the airports in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the default ones, are not accurately modeled in terms of buildings. The runway configurations are, and the taxiways are pretty, well, sometimes they're not accurate to the real world. At least in terms of the letter designations, but the buildings generally tend to be very generic. You can buy or purchase add-on scenery, which gives you much closer to the real thing. And I have a few of those airports for when I'm doing VATSIM flights, because I want them to be as close to the real thing as possible. Okay, just lining up here. So in the real world, and of course in the sim as well, I guess, you always want to take off and land as directly into the wind as possible. Sometimes it's not possible given the runway orientation, but you always want to land with as much of the wind coming at you as you can. Right now, there is no wind because I've taken off, as I mentioned earlier, the live weather. Prior to doing that, I had checked and saw that the winds were on a heading of 240. They were light at about 4 knots, which, if that were the case, I would have taken off on runway 23, because that's as closest to a heading of 240 as we have in this area. So, but there's really no wind to speak of, so runway 32 will be just fine for the departure. All right, so I believe I'm ready for the takeoff roll. Release the brakes and bring the throttles up. And full power is set. Airspeed has come alive. Checked, cross-checked. There's 85 knots. Pull back on the stick and bring the nose up and start the climb. Positive rate of climb. Gear selected up. And I'll go up to about 2,000 feet. I'll I'll set that on the autopilot. There's 2,000 selected. So I'm going to make a turn towards Quispam-Rosse area. There's the Kennebecasis River straight ahead. Power back. All right, we're level at 2,000, heading towards the Kennebecasis River. There is the airport arterial. And I believe that's Golden Grove Road. Past there. And that looks like Bradley Lake Road. Right down there. Actually, no, that's not. I'm mistaken. That's French Village Road. There's the #1 highway with looks like the Superstore complex there. That's looking east. Looking north here. I think that's Ritchie Lake, that body of water right there. Slow this guy down. This aircraft has a pretty high cruise speed for a single-engine prop plane. It'll cruise at 230, 240 knots. So I'm just going to slow down for the sake of doing the sightseeing. And that looks, I believe that, yeah, that's Means Cove with the ferry landing, the Gondola Point ferry. And the Kingston Peninsula right there with the St. John River a little off in the distance there. Kennebecasis Island. So we'll turn and head west. So Gondola Point Road, all the subdivisions. Heading towards town now. So I'm looking at the intersection of Camel Drive and Hampton Road. There is there's Kent Building Supplies, if you can see that intersection. All right, and then right behind Kent's is the one highway. Looking down here, that red cluster of buildings is the Rosse Fire Department, Station 1. And the airport arterial heads out from there, and then that's Highway 1 that we'll follow in. Let's head over towards the north end of St. John. Highway 1, and I believe that's the is it Brookville Lime? I forget the name of the quarry there. Right down there. With Ross Bay Road, right down there. East side of St. John, Parkway Mall, McAllister Mall over there to my left, just off the wing. Just looking for the St. John Regional Hospital. Actually, that might be it right there. I see there's a track there, running track. That might be the university complex. Building itself it doesn't look to be perfectly modeled, but that's okay. A lot of these areas aren't as accurately modeled in terms of the buildings and stuff. The street layouts and so forth are all pretty accurate. The geography, the topography. All right, let's head over. This is looking over towards Grand Bay Westfield, over in that region. So we'll turn back towards the city, fly over the west side. Oh, now just coming over the west side, there is the NB Southern Rail Yard. Number highway coming into view, and Fairville Boulevard, just this side of it. there's the Lancaster Mall in the intersection of Catherwood Street and Fairville Boulevard. Kent Building Supply, etc. And then the Irving Pulp and Paper Mill. And Reversing Falls Bridge. And then there is the Harbor Bridge coming up. Chesley Drive down there. There's the complex 55 Magazine Street, that kind of long, tall, rectangular building. Lansdowne Mall. The rifle range. And then there's Samuel Davis Drive leading us up to the hospital. And that area was the hospital, but the building doesn't really look like the St. John Regional Hospital, with the UNB in behind it. Sort of the footprint looks a bit like it, but it's like the chopped half of it off. Let's head over to the east side a little bit. Do a 180 here. Well, the parking lots are pretty accurate. Again, the footprint looks pretty good. Just looks like somebody took a knife and sliced off the upper half. UNB SJ. Helipad, I don't know if you can see that. It's just off the wing there now. A lot of times patients will be brought in or taken out, pediatric patients on the Nova Scotia's helicopter. That's where they land. Swing by Uptown St. John. So that's Uptown St. John with the South Peninsula. Harbor Station, right there off the #1 highway between those two overpasses, the Viaduct and Wall Street overpass. King Square. Imperial Theater, Admiral Beatty. I can see. Potash Terminal. Fly over the Canaport Mispec terminal, crude terminal. So this area coming up is the Canaport Mispec crude terminal. That's where the oil that's brought in by ships for refining is offloaded, and then that product is sent to the refinery via pipeline for processing. And these are the storage tanks. And then those 3 tanks you see just by the shore there, those are the LNG tanks, the liquid natural gas terminal. Now those LNG tanks don't look like the real thing. Kind of a chopped off version. They have a rounded dome top. And the same with the storage tanks at the Canaport. They just have sort of a kind of a representation that's not totally accurate. There's the St. John Airport, looking straight out to my right. Alright, so now I'm going to head back to the airport and conclude this video. So let's turn to the right. I'm going to do what's known as a visual approach. So come in on runway 32. That's the runway that I departed from. So let's come down to circuit altitude. So in a visual approach, that's just using all the visual references to land as opposed to using instrument guidance. Runway 32 over there, so first increment of flap, approach selected. Disengaging the autopilot. That runway we're looking at right now is runway 05 from this end. Coming in from the other end, it would be runway 23. That area that I'm heading towards now would be the St. Martin's area. Turn onto base, clear right. And the landing gear is coming down, selected. full flaps are selected. Gear is down with 3 greens indicating. Start. Bit off the center line, trying to correct for that. And we're down. All right, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed that aerial tour of St. John. If you have any requests for anywhere in the world, really, that I can access, which I can access most spots on the planet in this simulator, let me know. If you'd like to see some other areas or cities or whatever, just put a request in the comments, and I'll see if I can do that. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Cheers.